for coming out here tonight and the opportunity to speak. My name is Patrick O'Connor. I'm the State Senator for Weymouth, the Plymouth and Norfolk District, which goes from Weymouth down to Duxbury. I know firsthand the issues that you're going through. In January of 2015, then Spectra Energy, now Enbridge, came to Weymouth with a proposal for a compressor station on the Atlantic Bridge pipeline. At first, we were uncertain of what a compressor station was. Luckily, we had folks at that point in time. I was the city council president. We had folks who looked into this, who went to compressor stations, who saw exactly the risks and the environmental impacts that these stations have, essentially cleaning what is dirty natural gas and cleaning the dirty parts out of it and emitting that into our atmosphere. And so by April of 2015, the entire town council, city known as the town of Weymouth, weird charter issues, but all 11 members of the council wrote opposition letters to FERC for the project. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Liberals, Conservatives, middle of the road, every single person said this is wrong. And then a month later, we filed a resolution to make it affirmative and send it to our congressional delegation and our folks up in the State House. And then we sat and waited as they basically hired high-profile lobbyists, they hired big law firms, big consulting firms, and then eventually made their official FERC pre-filing. From that point in time, it was game on. It was us against them. With Spectra, they hired very well-known individuals in our community to lobby us, to try and use that sort of political capital that they built up to get us to change our minds. But why would we change our minds when we know that there are 3,300 children that go to 38 different schools in a 3-mile radius about what they're trying to build? What they are trying to build is on a 4-acre parcel of land. It is on a waterway, and it will be the only compressor station on a waterway and the compressor station with the least amount of acreage. So, and trust me, I'm against all compressor stations, but that in and of itself is even egregious as far as what they're trying to think that they can push through and do because of how much, in my opinion, control that they think and they, from what I've seen in the rulings, have over FERC. So, flash forward to April of 2016, and Spectra officially sat down with the new mayor, Mayor Headland, and said, we have an offer for you. And the offer was $47 million to drop your opposition to this compressor station. This little station that they say doesn't matter, it's not going to make a huge environmental impact, you know, it's not, you'll hardly even notice it's there. It was worth $47 million to Spectra to put it there. After 2 days of back and forth and talking, the mayor and the town council, the community proudly rejected the offer of $47 million. And what they did, and I was in on those meetings, what they did is they kind of tipped their hat to something that I didn't even know about, and that's the fact that compressor stations currently right now are being taxed as underground utilities. And it's a tremendous depreciation rate. It's a lot less than what they would be taxed for if they were just a regular utility. So what they did was they said that they would file this legislation and they would try and shepherd it through, and this would allow the town of Weymouth to realize additional tax revenue from the project. So when I became senator, a month later, I filed the exact bill, and that same bill filed again, and in the omnibus bill have put in that I would like that to be in there, because why should we, in addition to trying to sneak in a way for them to get a tax on us to build pipelines, why should we then not be giving the communities the tax revenue that they deserve for the pipelines that they're trying to build that are going to negatively impact the environment and the health and safety and protection of the community? So, to make a long story short, this has been a long battle and a long fight that we've had. You know, the town's fully on board. Our Conservation Commission rejects every single one of their permits. Our lawyers have filed multiple lawsuits against them. Of the entire delegation, the federal delegation, the state delegation is entirely against this project. And recently we were able to get DEP and the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs to move to put a stop on this project officially, which when you look in some of the places like New York, there was a stop put on and they were actually able to use that stop through FERC to put their project through, which I thought was crazy, but it's just the mechanisms in which they have and the leverage they have because of poorly written federal regulations and guidelines that favor energy companies over our environment and over actual human beings. And so what this stop was agreed to by now Enbridge, a Canadian-based company which purchased Spectra, which was agreed upon to, so right now we're probably in about the 4th or 5th month of this stop. They're going to do a comprehensive health assessment. We've already done an independent health assessment, so we know that there's already a tremendous amount of cancer-causing chemicals already in the area as is, let alone the 10 that are known, that in their filing that they know of, the 10 cancer-causing chemicals that are emitted in compressor stations, and also ethylbenzene, which is attributed to childhood autism in multiple studies, one by the University of Pennsylvania. So we have a stop. So we have a victory. A small victory in a very long war that we have with this company. But right now we're at that stop, and we're confident that health impact assessment will lead to it being uncovered that this area is just already way too industrialized to have this compressor station, and that's the game you have to play. I mean, literally it is, from what I've seen, it's a game of attrition. It's basically saying, we're going to put as many roadblocks in your way as we possibly can until the burn rate, whatever it is, $250,000 a month or however much you're spending on this, becomes financially non-beneficial to you, and then you move, or hopefully just completely scrap the pipeline as they did with Access Northeast. I mean, I know that it's still it's a waiting game, but at least that was another small victory that we had, and we'll continue to fight because, you know, as Senator Eldridge says, as Senator Feeney, Representative Howard, you know, this is something that it doesn't see party lines. This is something that we need to do. This is our future. This is our children's future. These are our communities. And we need to make sure that we protect them with all of our might and as loud of a voice as we possibly can, because they have deep pockets and they have politicians down in DC that they have by far bought and paid for. And what we need to do is get together and make sure that you know, our collective voice is loud, that we need to continue to invest in hydro, into wind, into solar, into anaerobic digestion, to lift the caps, to make sure we have more renewable energy here in the Commonwealth, and continue to be what we've always been in the field of healthcare, quality, and public education, to be a leader. And we're falling behind California, I think, slightly in that regard, and we need to catch up. So that's a very brief rundown of that. And